Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This past year, we've seen an Afghanistan withdrawal debacle, Russia invade the Ukraine, China threatening a nuclear attack on Japan if Japan helps defend Taiwan against a communist Chinese attack. And that brings me to my question for General Milley and Secretary Austin. In your professional opinion, over the past year, is the world a more dangerous place, a less dangerous place, or about the same? General Milley?
Thanks, Congressman. As I said in my opening statement, it is my observation, my analysis that the world is becoming more unstable, not less unstable.
Secretary Austin?
More unstable.
Yeah, we're trending towards greater instability. What's that?
Now, the Consumer Price Index is increasing at a 7.9% rate according to the official federal government statistics. Of course, that's an estimate. My personal belief is it's probably worse than that. Certainly talking anecdotally to the people in my district, they believe that it's worse than that. What is the inflation rate for our national defense cost? Manpower, bullets, fuel, everything that comprises national defense. What is the inflation rate for those items? General Milley?
Well, first I defer to Mike McCord down here as an expert, but this budget assumes an inflation rate of 2.2%, which is obviously incorrect because it's almost 8%. And it might go up, might go down, but most forecasts indicate it's going to go up, and it could level out at 9 or 10%, who knows? But it's clearly higher than what the assumption was in this budget.
When you say it assumes a 2.2%, are you talking about a 2.2% consumer price index inflation rate, which is what we commonly look at? Or are you talking about a 2.2% increase for national defense costs?
It's the CPI. The budget assumes 2.2% inflation rate, CPI inflation rate.
Well, when the official rate is 7.9%,
that's right.
Why are we assuming 2.2%?
Because the budget was produced quite a while ago. Those calculations were made prior to the current inflation rate. That's correct. And I'd ask Mike McCord to make a comment on the specifics.
Well, you would agree, would you not, then, that the assumption, at least according to the official federal government inflation rate, is over 5% wrong?
Congressman, we in the Department of Defense have never used the CPI as what is relevant for what we do.
All right, Mr. McCord, let me ask you the question then. What is the inflation rate for the things that the military has to purchase in order to provide adequate national security?
What we saw last year was 4%, and that's what we built into our pricing going forward, was to get that 2% up to 4%.
So what is your degree of confidence that the 4% rate is going to hold true?
That's an unknown, Congressman, obviously. The fiscal year calculation that you're citing and that General Milley was discussing is, of course, starts 6 months from now and ends 18 months from now. So a lot can happen up or down to affect that.
Well, let me add some comment and then some data. If we don't know what the inflation rate is for national defense procured products, then we can't really know whether the president's budget strengthens or weakens America's national security in an environment that both General Milley and Secretary Austin believe is becoming more dangerous, not the same or less dangerous. And I've just looked up a couple of items that I hope that y'all would take into account as you determine what ultimately will be the budget that the president would support for national security. Over the past 2 years, from January of 2020 to January of 2022, crude oil has gone up 137%. Now that's a big ticket item in national defense. Wholesale gas, another big ticket item in national defense, has gone up 39%. Wholesale diesel has gone up 37%. There are probably other fuels like jet fuels or what have you that have gone up significantly. So I would hope that y'all would take all these things into account and increase our defense spending in order to at least hold our own in real purchasing power. And then I'll add this final note. If I recall correctly, you're looking at about a 4.6% pay raise for our military personnel. Is that what I heard?
That's correct.
Well, if 4.6% is it, given that the consumer price index has gone up 7.9%, do the math, that comes out to a 3.3% pay cut for our military personnel. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.